Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta again. I am your host, Keisha Lancelin. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to shift the focus on you just a little bit and talk about mental health. Mental health and wellness is so important, and sometimes it can get pushed to the side, or not with this councilwoman. I'm here with Councilwoman Gumbs, and we're going to talk a little bit about how mental health has played an important part in her role in South Fulton County. Thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here today with you.
You know, this is such an important initiative, and you have taken the bull by the horns. Why is this so important to you to keep talking about better mental health in South Fulton County?
Well, I would say, first of all, when I first got on council, of course, understanding what municipal services, you have to take some time. It's been about 7 years to really learn this job. But as you continue to govern, you really see a lot of things that you can use your platform to help. And mental health was one of them. One of the reasons that really triggered me is because I really understood that people in communities of color do not talk about mental health. They kind of, as I say often, they try to pray it away or act like it doesn't exist and things of that nature. So I wanted to kind of put a focus on making sure that we have organic conversations about mental health, allowing there to be outlets for people to talk about what's going on in their life and just really checking in on folks. I remember one time during the pandemic, we had an event and we tried to talk about mental health and policing, and only 3 people out of the community showed up. And it wasn't for a lack of failure or marketing. It was because it is a taboo in our community. And what I've also noticed after we pulled the data and the statistics, that in 2022 and 2023, we had spikes, almost 70 incidents of suicide, and then also about 70 incidents of attempted suicide. And then we had an onset of domestic violence incidents that are impacting the city of South Fulton. So I wanted to take an opportunity to use my platform to really try to talk about mental health, especially for Mental Health Awareness Month. And here we are today.
Oh my, well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for taking up the charge, because you're right. It's one of those things that everybody has had an experience with someone or something that, better mental health care could have shifted the trajectory. And if we don't talk about it, we can't get better. If we don't keep having this conversation, not only, you and I, but to our young people. So often they've grown up in a space where it's hush and
Yes.
Nobody talks about these things. But giving those type of statistics, it's something that we have to talk, like we can't not face it at this point.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, is taking it head on and just really recognizing it. Again, it's a stigma that people keep saying, and honestly, we have to talk about it. Everyone knows somebody that's been impacted by some type of form of mental health issue.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to that end, I'm sorry that we just missed the forum, so thank you for doing that. But are there ongoing things? Are there more, avenues that you would like to take to continue to have this conversation, not just in this month, but throughout the year?
Absolutely. We'll continue to do town halls and workshops, and just, again, being able to provide resources. I have a newsletter that I send out to our residents, specifically in my district, that we talk about mental health. I'll put in some statistics or, some updates on what's happening on a mental health front, and then also resources and support. So we'll continue to do that. We'll have panelist discussions, just opportunities for people to talk about it and just be okay with it.
Thank you so much for all that you are pouring into this community. We can't do these things without leadership. Often, we see what's going on and we don't know how we can tap in until we see you do it. And then we realize,
Absolutely.
Okay, this is a way that we can, help. This is a way that we can step up. So I can't let you get out of here without giving us your website so that maybe we could stay connected.
Absolutely. I would love for people to follow me on Facebook, or you can Carmalitha Gumbs. And then also, too, you can check out my website. That is councilwomancarmalithagumbs.com. And we provide a wealth of information. But I do want residents to tap in, make sure they sign up for the newsletters. They can also go to the City of South Fulton's website as well and find out an array of activities that are happening within our city. And that's a way to stay tapped in and leaning in to find out more about what's going on mental health.
Well, thank you again for continuing to uplift us, continuing to spread messages of hope and of, just education to some extent. Sometimes it's just a matter of being educated, and you've stepped up to the plate. So thanks so much. It was good to meet you.
Same here. And thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Absolutely. All right, you've heard it from her mouth. She's going to come back and talk to us again. Take the opportunity to go to her website, learn a little bit about the great things she's doing in South Fulton, and how perhaps you can step up to the plate, how perhaps you can have a venue, an opportunity to help the next person in need. Stay tuned for more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.